Today I'm going to show you guys how to get all of the legendary fish in Stardew Valley along with the Q quest fish as well. So the first one we're going to go for is in winter, and it is the Glacier fish. So during winter time, you can come down to this little area here and you can start fishing. I'll show you a little bit more about it once we have caught the fish, like whereabouts we are, for example. So for some of these fish, you're going to have level 10 fishing. You can either do that by leveling up your fishing, or you can get multiple levels using food. So I'll show you that in a moment. So we have the Glacier fish now. And when it comes to the rod, I'm using the Iridium rod, and I'd recommend using deluxe bait and the trap bobber, which cause the fish to escape slower when you aren't reeling them in. Just so you know, if you're doing Q's quest and you want to get Glacier Fish Junior, you come to this exact spot, and I'll show you the actual catch later in the video. This spot is located just south of your farm. So if you have this little bridge, and there's two bridges over here to the left as well, two big bridges. The little hat seller is down here as well. And you kind of just walk over and you go to this little tip here. This is where you get the Glacier fish. Each of the legendary fish in this game require specific locations to catch them. For the Mutant Carp, you can catch this any time of the year, and you just have to fish in the sewers. Now, when a fish has a little knob on them at the top, that means it's the legendary fish. So that was an easy catch. And now we have the Mutant Carp. For the legend fish, you have to catch it in spring, and it has to be raining. So check the TV every day, make sure you know when it's going to be raining the next day, and go to this spot here. You want to catch it next to this log. So you can cast your line in here, but if you want to get closer to the log, what you can do is, when you're holding down the meter here, hold W to start aiming towards the log. And then if you do that, you'll angle your line towards the log. So the legend is the hardest of all of the legendary fish to catch before you get to the Q quest. And if you catch this, then you know that you're going to catch the other two pretty easily. So we got that now, and now we need to wait until summer. The Crimson Fish is available during summer, and it is available on the east pier of the beach. So we're going to pop over here. We're going to pop down to this little boardwalk, and we're going to start fishing until we have the Crimson Fish. Crimson Fish is quite difficult at the beginning, but calms down if you can get past the opening stages. So best of luck trying to get past the opening. If you do, it'll be a lot easier to capture after that. So the last of the normal fish is the angler fish, and that is caught during fall/autumn. You go north of the Joja Mart and you start fishing. The angler fish is the easiest of the fish to get, and it is also the last of the normal fish. So now let's move on to Q's quest fish. So the extended family quest from Q's quests is family members of the legendary fish have returned to the valley. You have 3 days to catch Miss Angler, Glacier Fish Jr., Son of Crimson Fish, Radioactive Carp, and the Legend 2. So we're going to accept this quest, and now let's go get those fish. So the way this works is the fish will be in the exact same places as the normal legendary fish, if you could call them that. But you can catch them during any weather, any season, so you can catch them all in one day if you like, and you just go to the exact same places and try and catch them. For this, I am actually going to use my buffs because it would be nice to have a little bit more ready for capturing all of them in one day. All of these legendary fish are going to have the exact same difficulty as their counterparts. So the Legend 2, for example, is going to be the hardest one to get, and Son of Crimson Fish is going to be quite difficult at the very beginning. Also, they don't have any markings when you're capturing them, so you won't know it's them, but based upon how difficult they are, I think you'll notice when you have captured one of these fish. Radioactive Carp is going to be in the sewer like its predecessor, so this should be an easy enough catch. So that is the Radioactive Carp, and the Radioactive Carp took me a few goes to get. In terms, I kept getting normal carp, but be patient and eventually it will spawn. Let's go get the next one. Son of Crimson Fish down on the beach, the same place we went the last time. Technically, I'm doing this in a little bit of a different order, just because the beach is so close to the sewers and there was no point in me going all the way up north. As with the Crimson Fish, the Son of the Crimson Fish is quite difficult at the very beginning and then gets quite easy afterwards. Don't be afraid to go to bed for these fish. You can do it over the course of 3 days, so there's no panic. But also don't be afraid to pass out trying to capture the fish too, because it's only going to cost you 1500. If you can get all the fish in 1 day, then don't worry too much about the 1500 for passing out. So here we are once again, and we're looking for Miss Angler this time. This is just north of Jojamart. This is probably one of the easiest fish to catch, especially after you've warmed up with all the other fish. And yeah, Miss Angler, you definitely can't go wrong there. So we're going to go get the last fish right now. For the Legend 2 and for the Legend, don't forget, when you are trying to cast your line, hold W to move your fishing line up. If you're on console, try and figure out what the button is or the stick that you have to move in order to do this. Which you are trying to stand here, as I mentioned, and you're holding left click on PC to get the bar going. You're holding W to change the direction of the line, and then try and get a nice good max, and you'll push your ducky all the way up to the log and hopefully catch Legend 2. So that was the Legend 2 catch, and that treasure was actually distracting me a little bit, so I thought we had lost it there, but we managed to get the Legend and a treasure chest. I wonder will we make it back home in time? We're probably going to pass out, but as I said already, it's completely fine to pass out if you want to get the mission done. And if you looked in here, we actually already have the mission complete, so we didn't need to bring the fish anywhere. So we don't actually have to go back to anywhere to hand them in. And we already got the gems for the diamonds, so we should be fine. But yeah, we didn't make it back in time. It took me ages to get the Legend 2 to spawn. I was getting lots of other fish. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's video. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if I covered everything. If any questions, ask below and I will try and answer them. Best of luck with your legendary fish, and best of luck with your extra gems for the Q quests. Thank you very much one last time, and enjoy the rest of your day.